Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Customer Portal webinar.
We've developed quite a few suite apps. We've got 7 of them active right now. We're here about the one that I've highlighted, which is our customer portal, the way to give your customers self-service access 24/7, day and night, any day of the year. So when we talk about our KES customer portal, I just want to highlight the overall features that this brings, and we'll go through all these as part of the demo we're going to do next. Our customer portal's been out for a while, and we're busy always adding more features based on feedback from our customers. I wanted to show just some of the new features we've added over the last year. All right, I also want to talk about some upcoming features that we're looking to add that are on our roadmap. And I put the little asterisks that just because they're on the roadmap doesn't mean that they will happen or happen in the next release, but these are currently what are planned. Our next release coming this fall should have at least some of these, and then our 24.1 next spring, hopefully we'll have even more of these. Why don't we get to what you're here for? Let's show you our customer portal. Now, before I actually jump into the portal, I'm going to show you kind of how it works inside of NetSuite. As I mentioned, this gets installed right in your NetSuite environment. It's a bundle that we put in. And let me just kind of show you some of the setup options that are available for you. And I will mention, as we set this up, we do a requirement session with you. We set this all up for you. We train you on this. We make this really easy for you to roll out. There is a ton of configuration capabilities to make sure that we can set up your portal exactly the way you want to set it up. All right, so now let's talk about giving access to your portal. Now you can do self-sign-up like I talked about. With self-sign-up, customers would then go to your portal and they would have a button to sign up. So let's go to this customer, and you can give access to the portal for that main email address. I come over to this customer portal tab. The checkbox here says that they should have access. This checkbox portal send access, once you give them access, the first time you would check customer portal send access, that will send them an email with a temporary password. And then we keep a whole login trail of the last time they logged in. The other way you can give access is at the contact level. So the same customer can have multiple people with contacts. It's the same concept. You come down here to a contact and we'll edit it. The same exact fields. Give access, send a new password. If they're locked out, unlock them if you want. On the contact, we add one extra thing, that this can be view only. The only other thing I'll talk about is that we have a number of searches right here that you can add as reminders. We can add pretty much any other reminder you want. All right, let's actually get to the portal. You can see we have a forgot password. You can do new user sign up since we have self sign up enabled. When you log in, we'll have your logo here. The tabs up here will display if you've enabled those features. So if you haven't enabled case management on that configuration screen, this tab would go away. For example, if I come in here and I come down and say, we don't want to do case management through the portal, no problem. We'll save that. And the next time they log in, I'll just refresh the page. You can see the support tab disappeared. So our home page, we show your current balance. If you got overdue, notice this feature message that I showed you during setup. Welcome to the portal. If you have case management, we'll allow you to submit a case right here. We typically show open invoices. If you have sales orders enabled, we'll also show open sales orders. But again, this is the screen where you can change these lists to show other things if you want. Maybe you have some type of subscriptions or you want to show open projects. I'll also add that if you have our premium version, those customers often add our premium version because they want to add custom tabs up here. So maybe they do want a tab for, let's say, projects. And then they could click there and show any information about their projects, or maybe shipments they want to show, or whatever else. With our premium version, it's something that we can do for you, is adding custom tabs. So on the invoices page, it defaults to your open invoices, but you can also just say, I want to just see paid in full invoices, or maybe I want to see all invoices, whatever you'd like to do. On each invoice, there is a Pay Now link if you've enabled online payments, and they can pay an individual invoice just by clicking on those, or they can click on the Make a Payment tab to pay a bunch of invoices. So here, I can click on, a couple of invoices that they maybe want to pay. The total updates as they go. We show that there's going to be a 2% fee because their default payment method was a MasterCard, so there's the 2% fee added. We've enabled short pay on this account, so they could come in here if they want and say, I don't want to pay the whole thing, I only want to pay part of it because we're disputing it. Again, you control if you want them to be able to do this or not. And you go through and all that, and then they can go ahead and make a payment. If they decide to pick a bank account, we remove the fee up here. We'll add it back in. They can go ahead and make their payment. It's that simple for them to do their online payments. So that's the way it works. You can see it's processing behind here. The other thing we allow in this account we have enabled is pay using credit memos. So you can come on in here. If you have an open credit memo, we'll list that. And again, you control whether you want to enable this or not, but you could go ahead and apply that credit memo to that invoice. All right, and that would apply the whole thing, and you can submit that, and now they've applied that credit memo. Now, we won't allow it to exceed the amount of the credit memo, so don't worry about that. We'll always ensure that this amount applied never exceeds the amount that's open. Or you can just let them view their credit memo so they can come in there and see all their credit memos, but they would not be able to apply. The next tab is our Payments tab. And with the Payments tab, you can do several things with this. You can show all the payments that have been done. So this will list them all out for you so they can see what's happened. You can also manage your payment methods. So maybe add another credit card, set it as the default, maybe add another bank account, that type of thing. So you can do that. And then you can also show their credit memos listed here. And the pay with credit is only enabled again if you've enabled the ability to apply credit memos. Then next we have the support page, and this is again if you've enabled case management, put in the information you give us about what's the email address, what's the phone number, show the existing case, they can submit a new case. If I open up this case, it will show all the back and forth that's happened so far. If I've uploaded a file as part of the case, it'll show those files here, or they can upload a new file, can reply back to the case here. Gives a nice kind of view on cases rather than back and forth in email. So if you're using NetSuite case management, we would encourage you to enable on the portal because we believe it's a better experience for your customers. If you've enabled document management, this is where you can upload, your customers can upload files and display them, or you can upload files internally and display them for your customers. And then lastly, we have our settings page. They can update their email address, update their phone number. We'll display the address book. If the feature was enabled, they could also edit their addresses. With our premium version, we also have this manage contacts. They can give access to other people in their company or take that access away. So they can see that a couple other people have access. They could set them to view only if they want. So maybe this Jay Munson, I meant them to only have view access. So now this Jay Munson will be able to log in, but they'll just be able to move around and view. They won't be able to edit anything or make payments or anything like that. And then, if they shouldn't have access anymore, somebody leaves the company, they just come in here, uncheck has access, and that's gone. Payment methods is the same screen as on the payments methods screen, and they can also reset their password here if they would like. I did want to talk about our AR toolkit, only for those things that potentially work hand in hand with our customer portal. Our AR toolkit has a consolidated invoice feature. So if you want to combine a number of invoices before you send them to your customer, our AR toolkit allows that. With our customer portal, we'll then honor that consolidated invoice. Say these 3 invoices inside of NetSuite were combined to a consolidated invoice, we would no longer show these 3 individual invoices on the portal. We would just show the one consolidated invoice. The other thing is from a collections standpoint. So our AR toolkit includes a collections module to send out dunning notices, past due notices. It works really well with that because you can include a link on that, on those emails to say, to go pay your invoice, go here, and that will direct them to the portal. They can update or add a payment method and pay those invoices without having to talk to anybody internally. And then the third feature is our invoice email automation. It also works really well to have the redirect over to the portal, and you can even have a search with like email history and stuff so they can see all the emails that have been sent. So some people say, okay, that looks really great. How much work is it to set this up? And the answer is not very much. If you already have Merchant E or CyberSource, if you're just doing credit card, this can be up and running literally in less than a week. If you have the premium version, it can take a little longer because typically the reason you're going premium is you want some type of custom content. If you're not yet on Merchant E and you want to get on Merchant E to be able to do online payments, that can take 4 to 6 weeks, only because the Merchant E application and approval process takes a while. Hopefully this gives you an idea about the capabilities of our portal. Hopefully it gets you a little excited about potentially having your customers be able to do self-service, be able to manage their own account, manage their own payments, all that type of stuff.
Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.